Hello and welcome to our ninth Monarch's Journey character. We are playing as King Harald Hårdraade of Norway, not to be confused with King Harald, the King of England, whom we are fighting against, as we are one of the two invaders of England in the original first start date. We've already seen the start date, but this time we are not playing as Conan, we are playing as this lovely King of Norway. Our challenges are to hold the kingdoms of Norway and England and completely control their de jure provinces. We currently technically do not control all of Norway, which we can very easily fix as the remaining rulers in Norway are willing to accept vassalization, so that's already done. For England, we will need to take one county off of Scotland after we presumably win the war. And next we need to kill 15 of King Harald's dynasty members. Now, King Harald, his dynasty currently has 60 members, so that's a bit iffy. We'll probably want to make sure that some people like Tostig here and his children are married at all times, so that they don't end up going extinct. We'll sort that out later. And we need to crush 12 revolts. I'm not sure whether this is the provincial revolts or the vassal uprisings, but we'll find out soon enough, I assume, which of these it is, and then we'll work on getting 12 of them. Right, let's make sure we are married, all our relatives are married, and after that we are going to make sure that the lovely English people in our court are married as well. Our Marshal, Tostig, he has some sons. We'll want to make sure they are married. So let's see, who do we marry them to? I guess these people are fine. We don't want someone in Norway, I guess. Rather, we don't want a ruler, so that they stay in our court. And yeah, I think that's fine. Let's also get our powerful vassals to be on our consul so they don't get all uppity. And let's make sure our consul is doing things. Can we proselytize? We can proselytize. So let's make sure to do that. Let's make sure to have the important roles filled. And set a crown focus for now here, although it's going to be moved to England because let's be honest, Middlesex is a much more appealing capital location than Dunmore is. What else can we do? Can we change any laws? Revoking titles. We can in fact change to title revocation allowed. Let's just go do that then. And anything else we need to sort? I suppose joining an order is always a good idea. And of course we want to make sure to actually have an ambition. Becoming exalted among men seems like a solid one for Harald here. Don't want to have the English going after our troops to begin with, because we'd rather have them fight William and then come after us when they are already practically defeated, because that's a lot more convenient for us. And of course we want to make sure our levies are also being brought over to England. We'll probably even just go ahead and send our troops to Normandy rather than fighting in England at the start, just to make sure that we only fight who we need to fight. And let's also raise the levies of our new vassals. Well, William has won his war, so we are now fighting England plus Normandy, and hopefully his troops will be foolish enough to attack us over the river. That would be ideal. Perhaps we can tempt them by moving our troops partially down south. Guess not. Maybe if we pretend to attack them, they'll start coming to us. No. Well, we'll just have to tempt them into coming to our side of the river then. Or they just go onto the ships. They're probably going to go to Norway. That's fine. If they are going to go to Norway, then we'll just occupy all of England, which is good for us because our war allows us to take all occupied territory, so the more we occupy, the more we directly control, and that makes dealing with our future vassals a lot easier, because, well, if it's all ours, then we get to appoint people and they'll be loyal. Of course, that is assuming that this requires us to deal with peasant revolts. If that requires vassals uprisings, then it might actually be easier to have the native vassals, because that way we would have to worry less about actually getting them to revolt. Alright, we have soundly defeated King William the Conqueror. We occupy most of England. We could try to take everything, but it would be a bit of a shame if we die and the war ends because we died, as we are rather old. And since we have a lot less troops than we began with, it's going to take longer and longer to take the remaining stuff. So we'll just go ahead and offer peace and look at that glorious being over the domain limit. So that is almost the first challenge done. We do still need to take one little county, but before we do that, we're going to have to sort this giant mess. One thing I do know is that we're going to move our capital to Middlesex over here, because that's a lovely county to have a capital in, and let's also set that to be our crown focus. Alright, so we have sorted out the mess of our domain. So let's go find ourselves some people of the Godwins to ensure their dynasty. Yes, that is why we want to find them. So we're just going to go ahead, find everyone of their dynasty, see if there's anyone willing to join our court. It doesn't seem to be the case. Let's take a look at the ones in our realm that are not married. There's only one of them. Oh well, let's make sure that he actually gets someone. We don't seem to really have a lot of people to marry him off to, so instead let's find a woman to invite, and of course we want to find women that we can invite. So let's make sure that she is lustful to maximize the chances of more Godwins, and let's make sure she gets married to him. So with that done, let's also have a look at our troops and Scotland's troops. Well, looks like we can beat them. So let's immediately press our de jure claim and get our very limited troops over there. Of course, we currently don't really have any troops of our own, since I already moved our entire domain over to being this stuff that has no levies. But we still have some event troops, and luckily we also have a few vassals that are willing to contribute, so we should still be fine. And once we have taken this, we should be done with our first challenge. And our war with Scotland has almost been won. We're at 95% war score, so probably when this siege is over we will have the war won, and in the meantime a Cathar uprising has happened, so we'll see whether it's these kinds of revolts or the vassals rising up that we need for our challenge. And with that we have completed the harder than steel challenge, and let's see whether we get progress from this. And let's let a few days pass. It did count, so it's going to be the peasant/religious uprisings that we need. So yeah, guess we'll just have to sit around, crush those. Probably want to conquer some pagan land, as that's more likely to actually revolt, and then in the meantime kill some Godwins. We have declared a war on Sapmi. I've also destroyed the title Kingdom of Norway. This way our kingdoms won't get split up when our character dies. And just for fun, we pressed our vassal's claim for Soriach. Our troops have arrived in Sapmi, so let's make sure to build a fort immediately so that we don't get destroyed by the attrition over here. And I have also started plotting to kill the Duchess of Moray, as she's an off Godwin and she's not getting us any more off Godwins, as she's in a normal marriage with the Duke of Moray. So yeah, no reason not to try to assassinate her. We should probably try to get some extra people helping us on that note, as it's been a plot that has existed for a while now and it's not doing anything. So let's hope it will fire a bit faster with these extra people plotting. And thanks to our lovely fort, we can actually stand here without dying of attrition. Unfortunately, our Harald has become infirm, so he's probably not going to last for too much longer, and he also has not managed to make any further progress in killing people of Godwin's dynasty. We did manage to get a woman of the dynasty to our court. Let's see if I can get back to her. We convinced the person whose court she was in to let us have this random Jew in our court marry her, so now she's in our court, which should make it easier for us to kill her. But well, despite our lacking progress on the challenges, at least we have a decent little chunk of cola, giving us almost all of Lapland, just one little county that is inside Sweden. And an added little benefit to expanding over here is that tribal vessels do not count towards our vessel limits, which we are rather close to at the moment. So we'll just keep expanding over here in Finland while trying to kill people of the Godwin dynasty. Our expansions into the northern parts of Europe are already paying off, as we have gotten one extra revolt, and well, we're heading back south again through Finland. We have made a little bit of progress conquering more stuff. Right now our council isn't exactly the friendliest, so it's a bit harder to convince them to let us start any wars, which is maybe a good thing, because we did lose a lot of troops in the most recent war. But still, we're making some nice progress over here, and well, that puts us at 3 out of 12. At this rate, we'll get there eventually. I'm more concerned about the whole Godwins thing. This plot doesn't really seem to want to fire. Never mind that. We have a successful dead Godwin. So let us go and have a look at the Godwin dynasty. Find everyone of their dynasty. Let's start searching by old people. As the older they are, the less likely it is they'll actually contribute anyway. Can we kill this one? We cannot. How about him? We'll just check if there's anyone we already have plot power against. We do have quite a bit of plot power against our courtier, of course. Well, let's just go for it. He has plenty of children. He has been productive. Let's just plot to kill him, and then we'll continue finding another one when he is dead. And we have died. We managed to reach the age of 70 as Harald, and we are now playing as his son, King Magnus the Lewd. So let's go ahead and make sure to be plotting to kill someone of the Godwins. Make sure to invite people over to the whole plotting business, and we also seem to be suffering from being a little bit over our domain limit, so let's go ahead and sort that out as well. Do we have any second sons? Oh, we actually have a bunch of bastards. We could just go ahead and legitimize them, and then we'll give the original son some land over in Norway. See, is this all in the same duchy? It is. So let's just go ahead and give him the duchy in its entirety. And I think our previous ruler also inherited Somerset just before dying, so we'll go ahead and hand that over to our second son. And that's our domain limit sorted out, and all of our sons have some land, so they should be happy. So I think progress has been a bit slow with the killing Godwin's part of the Monarch's journey, so we're going to speed things up. I have been inviting women and seducing them based on their intrigue. Let's go ahead and seduce some more. And we are going to use these to get people killed. So we're going to find an unmarried man of the Godwin Dynasty, and we are going to send over our highest level intrigue lover, and she's going to help us get more than this silly 41% plot power. We'll just wait until this has been accepted, and as she is our lover, she should be happy to join us. There she is. Right, this could still go a bit better. 69%, that's not awfully high. Let's see if there's anyone else in this court that's unmarried. So again, we'll make sure we have our lovers, and we'll just find people to hopefully get them married to. Oh, apparently she's past childbearing age. Really? She is, what was it, 36? Oh well, let's go ahead and send her over then. And we'll just get more and more plot power by sending more and more women over to get married in that court. Now it's at 91%. That's still pretty low, so we'll just send some more over. And yeah, this way we should be able to kill any Godwin we wish to have killed. And we're at 177%, so that should give us a significantly better chance of killing this man. Well, it looks like although Denmark never pressed their claim, one of the sons of the King of Denmark has gone on an adventure to try to take our rightful conquest from us. Shouldn't be much of an issue to deal with, as we have a significantly larger army thanks to controlling all of England, all of Norway, and almost all of Lapland, and even a decent chunk of Scotland, so I'm sure we will be fine. And in the meantime, I'm not being a satanic worshipper. We have advanced about a year, and our plot to kill this Godwin son has succeeded. So we are going to go ahead, find the oldest of Godwin, and proceed to kill the next one. That seems to be this guy. So we'll just again invite everyone, and also let's see, who shall we get him married to? Oh, I already sent a marriage proposal to someone in Discord apparently, and we'll just keep sending those marriage proposals. And that way we'll again have a court packed full of people who are willing to help us kill the Godwins. And in the meantime we also got ourselves a little Cathar revolt, so we'll just have to go ahead and deal with that at the same time. And that revolt has been won. I'll just make sure that all the people in his court have a wife, and all those wives will most likely help us kill people in their courts. And I did notice there's more than one of Godwin in this man's court, so that's extra helpful for us, because that means there are multiple people that we are going to have help killing. Well, another of Godwin has died, and because we've been pretty active in making sure they're all married, they still have plenty of living people, and we only need to kill 3 more. And fortunately for us, we find that there are actually quite a few of Godwins in our court by now, thanks to, well, all the making sure they are married business. So we'll just go ahead and start killing the ones in our court, which should be even easier than killing ones that we fill with people we have seduced, and we'll have that challenge done in no time. In the meantime, we also have crushed quite a few revolts. We are 2/3 done with that, partially thanks to this whole Cathar mess going on in England, as there have been quite a few revolts happening out of there, but just to make sure that we keep getting revolts, we continue conquering stuff in Finland as well. And finally, after a long while of waiting, we have what should be our final revolt. We also killed all 15 Godwins we needed to kill. Turns out, being in my court while I'm trying to kill people of your dynasty is not good for your health. The final one, who had a 1000% plot power against him, so he died rather rapidly. And so will these peasants. There we go. Offer peace, and there we go. We have completed all 3 of Harald's challenges. At the time of the recording, this is the final character of the Monarch Journey characters, though by the time I upload this video there might be another one. So if there is another one, I will try to have a video of the next character up as soon as possible. Make sure to subscribe to be notified when that happens, and thank you for watching and have a great time.